Hi everyone. In this video I will discuss the key terms of Unit 1. These key terms include sample, population, parameter and statistic. Let's start with population. It is the entire collection of persons, objects, measurements that we want to study. So this part is important. A researcher decides what the population is. For instance, if you want to study only a group of students, say 15 students, those 15 students will be your population. So the researcher decides what the population is according to the purpose of the research. It could be 5 people, it could be 5,000 people. Usually, studying the whole population is difficult, and we select a subset of the population, which we call sample. And a parameter is a numerical property of the population. For example, the mean of the population is a parameter, whereas statistic is a numerical property of the sample. For instance, the mean of a sample is a statistic. And in statistics, we try to estimate parameter using statistics because it is usually difficult to study the whole population. Therefore, we select a sample, we calculate statistic of the sample, and then we try to estimate parameter. Let's do an example. A researcher wants to investigate how many hours on average undergraduate students study in a week at Florida State University, or FSU. The researcher visits FSU library and interviews 500 undergrad students that visit the library during the day. So the researcher stays at the library for the whole day and interviews the undergrad students visiting the library. The researcher calculates the mean study time and estimates how many hours on average the undergrads study at FSU. So, what's the population in this study? For instance, is it all undergrad students, or is it the undergrad students at FSU? It is all undergrad students studying at FSU. And we decide the population by looking at the first sentence, by examining the purpose of the study. Here it says the researcher wants to investigate how many hours on average undergraduate students study in a week at Florida State University. So we are interested in the undergraduate students enrolled in Florida State University. What is the sample in this study? I think this is easier. This is the undergrad students that the researcher interviewed. So it is the 500 students that were interviewed at the library. Sometimes we report the data as the sample. For instance, we could report the collected data, the study hours, as a sample. I chose this study because I wanted to ask you this next question. Does the sample represent the population accurately? Because in research studies, we want to select a sample that is representative of the population. What do you think? In my opinion, it is not a representative of the population because it is a biased sample, since possibly the students who study more will visit the library. So we are including only a group of students who are visiting the library. A better option could be getting a list of all the undergrads at FSU and selecting a sample using random sampling and then collecting data from that sample. That would be a better representative of the population. And this is the reference that I used. This is our textbook. So please, you also, when you do your assignment, include the reference at the end of your assignment using apostille. Okay, that's all I think. Have a good day. Bye.